ARMY was once again rocked by an unexpected emotional moment from two of BTS's closest members, Jungkook and Jimin. When word spread that Jungkook was going abroad without Jimin, anxiety filled the fandom. However, what made everything much more heartrending was Jimin's cry that broke out in front of millions of fans during the live broadcast. An emotional message that she delivered that night not only made ARMY cry with her, but also proved how deep their relationship was. Jungkook's departure, alone and without explanation. It all started with Jungkook's appearance at Incheon Airport a few days ago. Dressed all in black and with his face covered by a mask, he appeared to be alone, walking quickly past the media crew. There was no sign of Jimin, who was almost always by his side on important trips. The media began to speculate. Was Jungkook attending a secret project? Does he need his own time? Or is there a personal reason that makes him choose to leave without other members? But behind the public questioning, Jimin appeared in a much more emotional way and unexpectedly. Movie camera Jimin live broadcast, unbearable tears. Hours after Jungkook was seen leaving Korea, Jimin went live on Weverse. First, he seemed calm, greeting fans with a small smile and a gentle voice. But slowly, the mood began to change. His voice trembled. His eyes began to glaze over. And in an instant, the cry broke out. "I'm not usually like this. But today I feel lost," Jimin said as he wiped away the tears that kept flowing. He never mentioned the name Jungkook explicitly, but the context is very clear. His words are so sincere, as if coming from the deepest chambers of the heart. "I know he needs time alone, but I'm used to seeing him every day. Today I feel empty." Fans who watched the broadcast live admitted that they were crying. Comment section was flooded with heart emojis and words of encouragement from ARMY around the world. Speech balloon Jimin's emotional message, "You are always in my heart." Not enough with the live broadcast, Jimin then shared a written message in the fan community. A simple note but full of meaning. It is known that this message came from his personal journal, which he deliberately photographed and uploaded. The message is as follows. "Times can change. Schedules may change. But the one thing that hasn't changed is, I'm always waiting for you to come back. Because you are not only part of my life, you are her home." The ARMY quickly concluded that the message was intended for Jungkook. A form of affection and care that cannot be silenced, even by distance and silence. Netizens were overwhelmed. "This is not a fan service, this is a soul bond." Didn't take long for the virtual world to react. On Twitter X, hashtags such as JiminWeep, Jikook Forever, We Miss You Jungkook, and Stay Strong Jimin instantly became a global trending topic. Many netizens wrote that they felt Jimin's deep honesty, not acting, not artificial content, but a sincere expression of the heart. Jimin is the kind of person who harbors feelings. "If he cries like that, it means that something is really heavy," wrote an ARMY from Brazil. Jikook is not just a bromance. They have a strong emotional connection, and it is felt from their every look and sentence, wrote the Korean ARMY. Surprisingly, some Korean idols and celebrities also gave their support. One of them is a former trainee Big Hit who wrote on Instagram, "You may not know, but Jimin and Jungkook have been like brothers and sisters since before their debut. If one leaves, the other will feel lost." Magnifying glass tilted left. What really happened? Until this article is written, HYB still has not given an official explanation of Jungkook's travel destination. Many suspect that he is preparing for a major international project or collaboration that has not yet been announced. But the focus was not on the agenda, but Jimin's absence at that important moment. As two very close people, Jungkook's own departure is a big question. Are they keeping their distance? Are there pent-up feelings that haven't been resolved? Some fans speculated that maybe Jimin was deliberately left out so Jungkook could focus, or because there was an agreement between them. But whatever the reason, one thing is certain, Jimin misses having Jungkook by his side. Broken heart love, friendship, or something more? Over the years, Jimin and Jungkook's relationship has been the subject of discussion, speculation, and sometimes controversy. Some fans call them true friends, while others believe that there is a sense of more than that. Whatever the interpretation, their closeness is not something that can be faked. They cared for each other, encouraged each other, and supported each other in such a profound way. Jimin's crying is proof that there is an undeniable emotional connection. Whether it's platonic love or silent romance, the world has seen how two human beings are bound to each other by something more than work. Candle Hope Army, a Haru-filled reunion. After seeing Jimin crying, ARMY is now waiting for Jungkook's return. They hope that there will be a response. It may be a live, a reply letter, or even just a joint upload. Many imagine the moment of their reunion. A big hug, a warm smile, and a speech that probably could not be delivered in front of the camera. We just want to see them happy, together again. Jungkook leaves the farewell moment that destroyed Jimin. A few days ago, the mood among the ARMY changed. Haru, Jungkook, BTS's beloved magne, is rumored to have to leave behind an important agenda, whether it's a secret project, official activities, or a specific assignment that has not been explained in detail. But for sure, Jungkook's departure was not only felt by fans, but also deeply imprinted on the hearts of his closest friend, Jimin. In a live broadcast conducted by Jimin on Weverse shortly after the news of Jungkook's departure was broadcast, the atmosphere changed, suddenly full of emotion. First, Jimin seemed calm and cheerful as usual, but as soon as he touched on the topic of Jungkook, his voice began to tremble. The smile on his face slowly turned to sadness. "I know he needs to go, but it feels too soon," Jimin said in a hoarse voice. After that, Jimin's tears broke. ARMY who watched the broadcast could not hold back tears when he saw Jimin holding his chest and trying to smile in the midst of his tears. Jungkook responds to Jimin's message. This is what fans know. Although Jungkook has not officially responded to the message publicly, fans believe that Jungkook has seen and read the message from Jimin. In a secret post on a closed community, an insider said that Jungkook gave a short but deep response. "Hyung, I feel the same. Take care of yourself for me." No need for long sentences. These two sentences are enough to make the ARMY's heart melt. They realize that behind Jungkook's calmness, there is a heart that is also struggling to hold back longing for a friend who has been a part of his life for more than a decade. BTS may be separated for a while, but their hearts are never far away. The moment of separation like this is not the first for BTS, especially in a period of transition to individual projects and state duties. However, whenever there is a moment like this, Jikook always manages to show that even though they are physically far apart, their hearts are still tightly adrift. Closeness shown by Jimin and Jungkook is not just a fan service. All their reactions and expressions were too sincere for discernment. As Jimin cries, we see genuine tears that spring from a heart that is hurt by missing someone who means so much. And when Jungkook replies, we know it's not just words. Lightbulb conclusion: the cry that unites the world. Despite all the fame, spotlight, and busy schedules, BTS members are still ordinary people who have feelings. And that night, Jimin showed his most honest and vulnerable side. She cries not because she is weak, but because of love. Love for someone who means so much in her life. Jimin's tears were not just tears. It is the language of the heart. A silent call to someone who has always been in his heart, Jungkook. And the world went silent. Then cry with him.